This is the Archbishop Carroll, Bonner Prendie, playoff basketball game. This is a 7-10 matchup, guys. And then the 9-8 matchup, 8-9 matchup is that tonight at 7 o'clock. That is Devil Prep and Carroll. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for the second half in a minute. I had to pause it, had to copyright it right now.
Points for a quarter.
Bonner Prendie is up 24-19. Start the second half.
To the final for Cardinal O'Hara, or a win, because if you win the Catholic League title, you automatically go. Would allow the line for the Patriots.
Yeah, the short of it, Bob, is O'Hara has some work to do. And you know what, Carroll's a half a basketball here, only down 5. Very capable of coming back and taking this game.
Good hands again by Luca Foster. Up the floor is Greg, and Greg finishes to cut the deficit to 3.
Good strong move there by Bonner. Starts the half with 2 careless turnovers
no doubt
from their
about
seniors.
That. We'll get one more look at this one here. It's taking us back pretty far.
Yeah, like
but
I
Bonner
said, the other
Prendie
game
moved
is
quickly
tonight
and
at
never tried to get to the baseline. Back to live action, 7:27 to play.
That's a good way to slice into the momentum you had in that last half of the second quarter by committing 2 turnovers in the first 20 seconds.
Rel Davis thinking about the 3. Foster now. Been bothered at times by the length of Rucker and Kettner. Wild shot won't go. Corey Francis brings it down.
Francis getting a start here. Can't say I don't blame him.
And that's how you play off 2 feet if you're Kevin Rucker.
That's his game, slashing, getting to the basket. Really good finisher.
Now Ian Williams. Rolls, nobody picked him up late on the closeout, but he barely got it to the front rim.
He's more of a catch and shoot guy. He didn't put the ball on the floor there. Look at this.
Just couldn't get it to fall with the English. But Luca Foster left the floor not knowing what he was going to do with it. And Bonner Prendergast is going to take over as a result. It's Deuce Kettner to the line for 2.
That's twice Womack's had the ball near the baseline and going glass with it. I don't know if it's intentional or not. That one just rolled around and out. The first one was close too. Maybe he knows something I don't. Deuce is a little out of whack here. Still time to find it. He's very capable. He's been a really good player all year. See if he can build off of that.
1 of 2. And it's a 6-point lead for the Friars of Bonner Prendergast. Davis. And again, 1 and done. Guess who? Corey Francis pulls it down.
That's a tough matchup for Davis with that Rucker on him. Nice pass.
Beautiful finish by Kettner, but once again, Corey Francis sets it all up. Munir Gray, count it, and 1. And we go up and down the floor.
Well, that's what we expected. Hopefully we see a little bit more of that. Teams start playing a little bit more free, and sometimes when you're playing free like that, you're not overly thinking. You're not making some of the mistakes you might normally make when you're playing slow and you're methodical.
Huck, this Bonner Prendergast team, not your average 10 seed, not your average 4-win Philadelphia Catholic League team. They had to go Roman Catholic, Archbishop Bryan, and Newman Goretti in the last week of the season. You had 2 of those teams in back-to-back days, Archbishop Bryan and Newman Goretti. And let me tell you, Archbishop Bryan and Newman Goretti had some trouble at times, closed out Bonner Prendergast late, but this team can score, it can defend, and when they're engaged, they're as tough to beat as anybody. Proving it here tonight.
Absolutely, Bob. I was there Saturday against Newman Goretti, and they played really well. It was a really good game. 71-65, tight throughout, competitive, spirited. They just haven't been able to make some plays at the end of games to get some of these wins. They were really good against Ryan too on Thursday night, and that game was really close well into the fourth quarter.
Problem has been closing out games, so Bonner Prendergast, they're right where they have been. In control of a contest, Selden to shoot 2, clobbered on his way up.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. He hung in the air there, and he drug himself back, and Carroll definitely fouled him there.
So the question is, they've been in this position. Can they finish it here tonight?
Well, they're quite capable of finishing. I mean, not to say that Carroll's not a really good team. I just won't put them at quite the level of Newman and Ryan. So it may not be as hard, sure, as it is against those teams. Those 2 teams are right there at the top who could definitely cut down the nets in a couple weeks.
Speaking of Newman Goretti, the Newman Goretti boys basketball Twitter page and social media channel has checked into the chat and saying they're watching from 10th and more.
Nice.
Doing some scouting, Huck. It's a very engaged social media presence. A lot of teams do a great job with their socials. And Newman Goretti is one of those teams, so we're big fans of the guys from 10th and more. 2 shots coming for Archbishop Carroll. But again, getting to the basket, that's the idea there, Huck. And they've had trouble with some threes from the outside that have been blocked. Well, get to the rim, get into the body of those shot blockers, and get to the line.
Well, this half started, it's pretty much opposite of the first half. They were letting them play. And I think in the first half, you're going to let them play early. You kind of like figure out how the game's going to go. And then this half, these are fouls though. They're making good calls. And good. It's the second time Foster's gotten in there and done that.
Yeah, and I think he might have been hit. That time he was hit, and he just can't seem to finish around the rim. He'll shoot 2 at the line.
If you don't put the body on him, he's just going to jump over you, and that's what they've done twice, and they've been beaten twice on it. Back to the Newman guys, they're probably down there, and I can see Carl and Pat back in the back room taking copious notes right now.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
After Andrew Bowman helped them find the YouTube link. Kidding, of course.
We all have a role, Bob.
Great staff down there at Newman Goretti. And even with those injuries, there they are. The 2 seed again, primed for another run.
Really tough. They take care of the ball.
Speaking of taking care of the ball, I think that'll go a long way in determining who wins the game. It has been sloppy at times. Both offenses are starting to get into the groove a bit more here in the second half. Rucker, tough shot. Off the back iron. Good defense by Munir Gregg. Rel Davis and now Ian Williams hits the go switch. Luca Foster got one hand on it. Kyrie Womack, strong to the 10. Timeout, Bonner Prendergast. Billy Cassidy likes what he sees and wants to draw some things up to look to extend this now 6-point lead.
Good rebound by Francis there, and he outlet it to Womack. As soon as the ball hit his hands, he liked the matchup there. It was a good, strong move.
So let's talk other scenarios. Maybe the most compelling one in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and that is 6A. Who will qualify for the state tournament at the 6A level? There are 4 teams that have made the playoffs at the 6A level. Roman Catholic, St. Joe's Prep. Archbishop Wood, the 3 seed, has the hammer on St. Joe's Prep. And then the 6 seed is Father Judge. So here's where this gets very interesting. Father Judge is 20 points behind Archbishop Wood. So they play on Friday night. The Father Judge knows they only get 15 points from that victory, and so they would need at least a semifinal win to jump ahead of Archbishop Wood if they lost. But bear in mind that St. Joe's Prep with 100 points and Roman Catholic with 110 points, they have their own games to play, and so it's going to be really interesting even once Friday ends. Unless there's 1 or 2 scenarios that occur, we still won't know which 6A teams will make it.
What we do know, though, is a couple of really good teams are going to be left out.
4:11 to play, third quarter. Archbishop Carroll, to a man, they would tell you they haven't had their best stuff here tonight, but they're in it. 6-point game. Rel Davis is fouled, and will that be on the floor or in the act? Looks like they're calling it in the act. And now they are going to put it on the floor. We're going to watch this entire replay because there is no signal either direction until the official makes his way all the way over to midcourt, and that's a good way to make nobody happy.
No, typically they'll point right off the call, like, going up for 2, they'll put the 2 fingers up, or they'll point out of bounds.
Williams, good drive. Foster tees it up and hits. Well, you get a paint touch, Huck. It leads to a kick out, get the feet organized, and that's when Luca Foster can knock it down.
And he's been shooting the ball really well recently. He's got a nice soft touch because it comes feathery off his fingertips. Ian Williams got to get going a little bit more too. That's a good start and get somebody else involved, but he's going to need to score a little too.
Womack is guarded by the longer Foster. Carroll trying to switch inside. Rel Davis fouls Kevin Rucker, and that was a long time coming. Again, we'll take you back to that replay. Ian Williams, and Rel Davis taps him out and says, hey, I'm going to take him, you switch off. A lot of contact there that has to be called.
And I'm sure beforehand the officials were like, you know, let's clean it up, and they went a little too far.
Contact, and once again, Kettner will go to the line. Has not been proficient from the field, but when you get inside and you have that size, you're going to get yourself to the line.
Most of his takes have been rushed tonight, if you notice, Bob. When he goes up and then, like, he's not really kind of just naturally finishing. He's kind of just throwing the ball up at the rim. He's drawn some fouls, though. He's gotten to the line. I think this is the 5th and 6th time shooting foul shots. But he's good enough to finish those and then get N1s and things like that.
Bothered by the length, you think of Munir Gregg and Luca Foster.
Yeah, playing a little fast is mine too. You know, I think he's pressing a little bit because the game didn't start out great for him.
But he got 2 of 2, and maybe seeing it go through the hoop will free him up. 5-point lead for Bonner Prendergast, and they go into a zone. Switching up the defense in live time, always impressive. Now what does Carroll do to adjust? Still not a touch inside the three-point line.
They got 5 out right now.
That's a good look. Had a paint touch. Rolls for 3. Almost banked it in. I don't think he was ready to catch and shoot there. Up and under Rucker. Kettner touched it last.
Bonner's playing hard, but for my money, Deuce and Kevin have not finished nearly enough tonight. He's had some big, both of them have some big games this year, 25 plus in multiple games, and when they're getting that, when they're scoring like that, they are finishing those types of plays.
Maybe a left-handed finish there, kind of got himself caught at an odd angle coming in from the wing. Now it's a 3-2. Kind of a matchup zone here as Kettner comes out to guard the shooter, and the 3 will go for Luca Foster.
If Bonner's going to stay in the zone, I think they got to pay much more attention to Foster. He looks like the kid that's out there offensively. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, you saw what Kettner came out to get the screener, and everybody was a little bit out of position. Drew Carroll. Big block. One more. It's a good look on the high ball screen and slip to the hole. But maybe that's why these Bonner bigs are double clutching.
Go up with a shadow.
Womack guarded by Foster.
Close,
Switch to Corral.
Good look.
15.
Now, how does that one not fall? Rucker. That time he goes up with the correct hand, the left hand. It was soft off the glass. They're just not falling.
They're not falling. It's kind of been the same story all night.
Selden in the corner.
You see Bonner run a play for him. We're coming off the screen and maybe getting a good look at a 3. He hasn't really had one since the one he knocked down earlier.
The night of 476. Battles down the blue route. This is a good one. Reggie Selden uses that high ball screen to create the look. Munir Gregg, good first step. Davis and Bonner really good on the closeout.
They are closing out well. It's good ball movement too.
Gregg and Corral brought it down. Counted and 1 for Munir Gregg. The strength to get that up and over the rim and off the glass. One more look. Great find.
That's an RA right there, Bob. That's a rebound and assist for Carroll.
Some big offers already for Munir Gregg. Lots of interest. You can see the wingspan and the measurables. They're all there. He'll continue to be a force here in the Catholic League.
Foster almost got another one off of a missed foul shot.
Well, Francis was the spark plug for Bonner Prendergast in the first half.
Yeah, Carroll's paying a little bit more attention to him now. He has their attention.
Bonner Prendergast for the second consecutive quarter end. Potentially looking to hold unless Womack likes the look. Gregg with now 20 seconds left. Carroll can push if they want. Rolls in rhythm, yes! And the home team leads for the first time since early in the second quarter. 7 seconds left. Francis, he's fouled, and that is the 15th foul on on Archbishop Carroll. We're talking 5A teams here, 4A teams, beg your pardon. But that will send Bonner Prendergast to the line, and Francis. Corey Francis has shot at just 24 times from the line. He is 55% from the stripe. Mike Ivey says, checking in from Lansdowne, Pennsylvania. John Black checking in as well. Thanks, everybody. Make sure in the quarter break to check in on the YouTube stream. Tell us where you're watching the game from. That's America's favorite game. Where are you at? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. So it's a 1-point lead, 3.7 to go. Good outlet. It's the same type of shot that he hit against LaSalle, and Archbishop Carroll wanted the foul call.
Huntington Valley.
They don't get it. And we go to the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, that's got to be really extreme to get that call at the end of a quarter in a game like this.
I would agree.
But 39-38, Bob. You know, the pace might not have been what we expected. A little bit slower than I thought it would be. But it's a 1-point game. What else could you ask for?
What else could you ask for? Paul Miller checking in from Monteverde Academy, and Carter Philman saying hello from New York City. Thanks, everybody, for checking in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we're close to a milestone, Huck.
What's that?
We are close to 3,000 followers.
Wow.
Which for us is a nice number, and so if you like Catholic League basketball, if you like high school hoops, give us a follow. It means a lot to us and helps us to keep on doing what we're doing here.
It's good that people are following Bob that are outside the region. I don't know if they have a tie to one of these schools or not, but you know, Bob Long is the word is out.
We appreciate it. Ellerby checking in from North Philadelphia. Thank you for joining. I think a lot of the league that isn't playing tonight, hopefully he's checking into this one. In fact, the other game hasn't even tipped yet, so Huck, for about 3 minutes, we're the only game in town.
Right.
You can pick up that other game, by the way, with whatever, 7 minutes ago in the second quarter anyway.
I already have my son on it. He's pausing it as it starts.
There you go.
It's not a one-man operation over there in the basement when I'm doing the stats.
We have gone back and forth all night, and we start the fourth quarter with the home team trailing by 1. Bonner Prendergast, they've been in that zone for the last half of a quarter or so, with 3 up top. Foster has hit some big triples. He'll try it again. And a long rebound picked up by Kyrie Womack. Francis, so quick off the bounce. And there's just been a cap on the rim for Bonner Prendergast in layup territory here tonight.
Yeah, I thought Bonner was going to have numbers there, but Carroll did a pretty good job of getting back. And
offensive rebound, and they'll reset. So the zone is great if you can coerce a lot of tough threes. Count it, and 1. That's where the zone falls apart. Interior passing, and what got it all started, the offense of Carroll.
Well, I think the last 2 times, Gregg's last 2 baskets have been off offensive rebounds and nice assists from his teammates and 1 opportunities.
And that's the second in the last few minutes that Munir Gregg now has the opportunity to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. He didn't do it last time, but on both of those finishes, he was hit hard. And his strength, a young man with the strength to get it up and above the rim.
Yeah, young but nice live body.
No doubt about that. full court pressure from Archbishop Carroll. I like the look coming out of the quarter break. Some token pressure, though, as Womack has it across the timeline. It was at most a 7-point lead for Bonner Prendergast. Archbishop Carroll has crawled all the way back to take a 2-point lead. This has been the bugaboo for the 4 lost Friars that have been in just about every game they've played. Late leads that have succumbed. And just dribbling through a lot of traffic.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done.
Pop Rucker slow to get back. Open 3 for Foster, and this place is going nuts. 5-point lead. Largest lead for Archbishop Carroll. 6:18 to play. And another look, tickling the twine.
Too much time to study that one. Foster's been dialed in when he's had a moment.
And how about this? So that was just a timeout to get a substitution in from Francis Bowe. They gave the keep it rolling sign, almost similar to what you'd see in terms of a false start, except it's just the 2 extended figures on each hand. Keep it rolling.
Rucker's hobbled over there, and I wonder if he saw that and said, you know what, let's get right back out there while he's got some pain lingering.
Very interesting, and a giveaway by Nasir Rawls. Contact, count it. It's been a big run for the Patriots of Archbishop Carroll, and the defense leads to offense.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Bob. In the last few moments, the big difference between these 2 teams is that Carroll, even though they're younger, has been tougher.
And this time they will time out, and they will sit down because it's coming from the Cassidy-led bench, Huck.
Yes, and Carroll right now just wants a little bit more. They're getting on the floor, offensive rebounds, sharing the ball. Their baskets are coming off assists or steals.
Shot by Byrne, checks in and says, let's go Pop for Pop Rucker. Gambino is what it looks like to me, saying hello to us. Thank you very much. Let us know where you're watching the game from, and thanks for checking in to the little humble abode that is our office here tonight in Radnor, Pennsylvania. Beautiful John Carroll High School, Archbishop Carroll. And how about the new floor here, Huck? Brand new, shining nice and bright. They did a really nice job with this gym.
It's looking great. It's bringing I think the lights are a little bit better too from the last time I was here. I don't know if that's the floor having a part of that, but I was talking to Coach Bowe before the game about that, and he's really happy with it.
Well, I guess it's probably time to announce, Huck, before we get off air, where we're going on Friday. Bob Long Sports is headed to Warminster, Pennsylvania. Archbishop Wood, Father Judge, teacher versus pupil. John Moscow, Chris Roantree, longtime assistant under John. 2 6A teams. Judge has to win to keep their postseason playoff hopes alive. Archbishop Wood probably needs to win to keep their PIAA hopes alive. And of course, most importantly, Huck, the Palestra awaits the winner.
That's going to be a great evening of basketball up there in Warminster. The place is going to be electric. It's those 2 teams are really going to get up and down. It's going to be a lot of fun, that game. You got a good one on hand there, Bob.
I think the other game that maybe most folks might be interested in, I mean, certainly it's the only other game that's currently set, but St. Joe's Prep hosting Archbishop Ryan. And I tell you, I don't know if it's the TV execs or what. I say that in jest because I know St. Joe's Prep likes the early game. Selden couldn't hit the 3, but the 4 o'clock start at 17th and Girard, and then the 7 o'clock start in Warminster, nobody needs to make a decision.
Nobody needs to make. I know I don't, because I'm going to be watching both of them.
That's right.
I already have the Friday lined up.
Open 3 for Rawls, and Rawls stays hot.
Carroll's just oozing with confidence right now, playing under control, once again sharing it, finding open spaces, kick out, that's what he does, corner 3s. Danger time for the Friars here. They got to make a run in the next minute or so.
That's at least a 10-0 run, if not more. I think it's 11 All right, it was 38-37. Archbishop Carroll took their first lead of the second half with just a few seconds to play in that third quarter. Bonner Prendergast got 2 more to end the quarter. It's been 11-0.
I think it was 35-30 at one point, too, at least. So that would be a 19-4 run.
Selden. Tough shot, and he'll shoot 2. Munir Gregg doesn't like the call. There's another one that's halfway down for Monsignor Bonner, Archbishop Prendergast. He just can't seem to get it to fall.
That's been a story all night. Some of it's been lack of focus. Some of it's just been bad luck.
And that one qualifies as bad luck. Second one coming, and Selden does hit 1 of 2. Full court pressure and a jump ball. Alternate possession will give it to Bonner Prendergast. Good defense off the made free throw.
There's going to be more of that.
Come out of a dead ball situation, gives you a great opportunity to set up full court.
I thought he hit the whistle kind of early there. I thought, there may be another second or two to fight, wrestle that free, but Bonner maintains possession anyway.
Selden, hit, not called, splat on the floor, splat on the 3, 6-point lead. We'll get one more look. You make the call at home on this one. Close out. Did he give him space to land? It's a tough angle for us here. That official's right on top of it.
He's right on top of it. And then while that was happening, while you were looking at that, Bob, Rucker just picked up his 4th foul 70 feet from the basket.
And the 3rd team foul there against Bonner Prendergast. Rucker's not going anywhere, though. He has to stay out there on the floor. Stay with us post-game. We'll have interviews with the player or players of the game from the winning team and the winning head coach. Quick turnaround for the winner. They'll play on Friday. If Archbishop Carroll wins, they're going to take on Newman Goretti as the 7th seed. Bonner Prendergast would travel to Holy Family to take on Roman Catholic. Ian Williams up and under. It's an 8-point lead.
Good possession there. Took some clock away there and got a bucket.
And they lost the basketball. Reggie Selden couldn't squeeze it tight. Long way to go here with 3:50 to go, but to this point, this young Archbishop Carroll team, Kettner picks up the 4th team foul here in the 4th quarter. This young Archbishop Carroll team has out-executed the very veteran Bonner Prendergast Friars.
They've played a strong 4th quarter so far. And end of the 3rd, actually. That's when it started.
Rail Davis. Rawls, Foster, throw it down.
Dunk tracker alert.
Hello.
I'll tell you that as soon as I get home.
And Luke has been up there all season long. Contact and a foul in the act of shooting. Francis Bowe wants that one on the floor. Not going to get that call. It's an interesting argument, though, as you see that replay in slow motion. Where does the swipe come? And again, we are splitting hairs here, but that slap is indeed on the gather. But so long as Bonner Prendergast is going to struggle from the line, Huck, doesn't much matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of time here. It's a 10-point game. He might be able to cut it to 9 here. He does. What I don't like right now, Bob, is the body language. I don't know. Something's got to happen quick for that to turn around.
Luca Foster on the feed from Rel Davis. And did they just call a technical foul on Luca Foster? Oh, we'll get one more look. This is fantastic. Did he hang on for too long? I don't know.
Letter in the law, maybe he did, but, you know, let the kids play.
Well, maybe exactly what Bonner, well, certainly what they needed, but that's a tough call.
Luca Foster was greeted by a couple of young fans out there.
I think they thought it was a timeout.
Yeah.
They're coming from the Carroll bench.
That's okay.
They thought a timeout was called. The officials did the right thing there. They just got them off the court and we moved on.
Pretty harmless situation. Good use of discretion.
Absolutely.
Carroll, one.
So
Carroll.
Fair point, Bob. You're always coming up with them.
I try.
It looks like Carroll is playing.
Wow, is that the Dick Weiss, Hoops Weiss, saying this is a godsend for
Look
high school
at things in
basketball?
it.
It's a godsend for Bonner Prendergast as they're getting back into the game, and a foul is called, and that is it. If that's Pop Rucker picking up that foul 90 feet from the basket, that's it. He's done.
I think they said it's Carroll and they play Newman.
Yeah, that's
ill-advised.
Ill-advised, too risky. He's got to understand the situation there. I mean, no early to start fouling. He needs to be on the court. Plain and simple. Whether he's playing great, okay, poorly, he needs to be on the court because he can turn it around at any second.
So
Carroll.
will shoot two.
They play Newman.
Bonus time the rest of the way for Archbishop Carroll.
The winner of the ninth O'Hara game. Like room.
An 11-point lead. And if they can finish this off, you know what this means? It means Newman Peretti's night of watching film is over. And Roman Catholic has to flip over to the Devon Prep Cardinal O'Hara game.
Nope, I said Newman.
There's a giveaway. Nasir rolls. And that was ill-advised.
It was. I think he was looking for another lob.
Gotta have it. Good finish. Playing off 2 feet. Timeout called. And it might just be a whistle for a hurt player there as Selden was dinged up.
Yeah, Selden wants to stay in the game, but I think when they blow the play dead, doesn't he have to come out?
I think that's right. And Francis, I think, is having that same discussion. And now that's what's going to have to happen. So in comes number 2 for Bonner Prendergast, Cam Jackson. We haven't seen much of him here today. Still an eternity to go. Rucker on the bench for the remainder of the time. Rel Davis. Carroll. Great look inside, rolls. Didn't go straight up with it, fortunate to get his own rebound.
Yeah, he waited a little bit there like he was like come and get some, and he did.
Foster comes down with the catch, and Archbishop Carroll, they don't need to release that basketball. Rel Davis will shoot 2 from the line. Linear Gregg comes to the scorer's table. So who stands out to you, Huck, if it does finish this way? Who should we go talk to? Luca Foster stands out to me.
Definitely. I think Gregg's played a good game, and Rawls made some timely threes.
Luca and Gregg. You just want to make me look short. That's fine. No problem, Huck.
You've been there before, Bob.
That's right. Timeout on the floor, an 11-point lead for Archbishop Carroll. This portion of today's game brought to you by E&M Insurance, property and casualty insurance firm in North Wales. So if you are looking to redo your policy, or even if you're not, just if you haven't checked it in a while, reach out to our buddy Chris Marr who went to LaSalle here in the Philadelphia Catholic League, class of 1989, trying to help you or your business with your insurance needs. One thing I found out the hard way, actually I wouldn't say the hard way, I was fortunate to have it, but if you haven't checked your sump pump, you have a separate rider for water backup, check it, because if you don't have it and we're having bigger storms and basements flooding, make sure that your insurance policy actually covers that. Chris Marr would be the guy to call in that regard. Maybe you're going to buy a house with a basement. That's where you can reach out to Jim McLaughlin and Carrie Guerin Boyle of the Carrie Guerin Boyle team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors. Helped my wife and I buy our home, and we really appreciate their sponsorship of Bob Long Sports over the years. Folks, if you like these types of games and us getting out to games and doing them for free, support the businesses that are supporting high school athletics. We appreciate all of their sponsorship. Bonner Prendergast, they got to move now. Down 11 with 2 minutes to go. Francis for three. Little short. Rel Davis brings it down.
We haven't seen a lot of that from Davis, but he's a pretty good rebounder for a freshman guard. Got a lot of rebounds this year. He sneaks in there, gets the ball off the glass, and is able to push it up floor. He's not looking to push there, obviously, up 11 with a minute 47 left. But that's a good skill set he had. He's closing in on over 100 rebounds and 100 assists. You know, I go back to when Francis came in the game, and he really gave Bonner a jolt. Really gave him a jolt. And I don't think their two stars rallied around him after that and, like, caught their breath and said, all right, we got the lead thanks to this kid, and they really never could get on track. And it wasn't from a lack of effort. It just wasn't their night.
Big rebound there by Munir Craig, and that will just about do it.
Yeah, good contest there by Foster, too. Too much length for Womack to get over. Foster's played a clean game. He's done a lot of things well.
And they will now foul Ian Williams with 1:23 to play.
Bonner season won't end, though. They will be in the second Catholic League representative in the 5A playoffs. Yep. They'll play a district game, I guess, for seeding for the 3-4 seed, and they'll have a chance to you know, regroup and you know, if this score holds, regroup and maybe do some damage in the States.
Last year they struggled in the PIAA postseason. I think they actually lost their playing game, if that's right, because they had so many guys that were ineligible. This year, I believe just about everybody's eligible, huh? Yeah,
well, yeah, I think they lost to Dobbins last year in that game, and they were ineligible. I mean, they have two starters that are upperclassmen transfers, and last time I checked in, there was supposed to be a hearing on them. I don't know how that turned out, but you know, if they're there, that's great. If not, then you'll see Francis and probably Camden Jackson or Gatlin's younger brother, Conjay, who's seen some time this year as a quarterback for the varsity this year on the football team, get increased minutes.
Deep three, that one is good. And as if on command, we talk about Cam Jackson.
He's going to be a good player.
And they give it up for Munir Craig, who brings the house down.
Dunk tracker's approaching 300, Bob, in case you're wondering, and you're scoring at home. I think we're at the 292 coming in.
42 seconds left. Bonner Prendergast, they're calling off the dogs.
Bonner Prendie lost.
Bonner Prendergast.
So, Carroll, please. Get ready. Friday night.
Carroll, they took a lead for the first time since the first quarter in the final seconds of the third quarter.
And never looked back.
Never looked back. Archbishop Carroll, they're going to move on to play Newman Goretti The season continues, and the kids are all right. It's the youngsters from Archbishop Carroll taking down Bonner Prendie in the Catholic League's first playoff game. Stay with us, folks, and we'll have post-game interviews. Go ahead, Huck.
Okay, yeah, well-earned win by the Patriots.